What's up guys, Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection achievement guide. This time we're doing Parting the Sea, which is beat the par score on Exodus. So start this up, you can do this on any difficulty, though I recommend normal, which is what I'm doing here. I also have on 6 skulls. I normally have on 5, which are Catch, Famine, Fog, Thunderstorm, and Tough Luck, but I've thrown on Tilt as well, because that gets you a little extra boost, and it doesn't really have that much of a negative effect on your gameplay here. So we're going to start off by running through Boardwalk, and then getting to these 3 skirmishers. Try to take these guys out all at once so you can get the multi-kill. There's a plasma pistol on the ground that they'll drop, so grab that, and also some more pistol ammo by that dead Marine. Then we're going to lay into these grunts with the plasma pistol. It kind of pushes them back, and you don't have to reload it, so it's a nice weapon to have against these suicide grunts. As soon as you find a needler, we're going to start juggling those towards the end of this section, because we want to gather as much needle ammo as possible for the next section. So continue to use the plasma pistol to take out these grunts as they turn into suicide grunts. And we're going to keep juggling it down with the needler, and we have our pistol in the back pocket right here. So just kind of take this area a little bit slowly, because there's a bunch of suicide grunts, and sometimes they're just around a corner, so if you move forward too fast, you might find that you're blown up, because they have blown up right next to you. So just kind of keep an ear out for these guys, because you don't have your radar due to the fog skull. So just kind of pay attention to all the sounds in this area, so you know if they're kind of close by or not. So just take these guys out, gather needle ammo as I mentioned, and we'll juggle it forward, and we'll go to the next section here. And once everyone's dead in this section, we're going to look around real quick for any needles that might be on the ground. There's some over here. It's not always the same. There's more pistol ammo right here by this dead Marine. That's always there. But the needles are kind of in different places all the time. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. It's totally random. It depends on how many grunts spawn in with a needler, so it's not a set amount. So you just take a look around and see what you can find. And then we'll go over here, and there are some enemies hanging out in a big, long conga line of suicide grunts. So take those guys out. Usually you can take out the majority of them by taking out kind of the first one in the front of the pack there, because they will blow up and drop their nades, and it will cause a chain reaction. More health right there on the wall, so grab that. And then we're going to run through this area. We're just going to sprint past and jump over this gap and get behind this brute and melee him. And then we're going to look at this brute and try to shoot him with a headshot here, and then also shoot that brute up there with a headshot if you can. If you take the shots slowly and calmly, you should have your bloom reset, so you have more accurate shots. And then these brutes will jump off, and we'll be able to kill them with a plasma grenade / a needler, super combine, whatever you need to do. And then we'll turn our attention to the reinforcements coming through that door. So there's 3 skirmishers and 1 brute. So we took those guys out as quickly as we could. And then we're going to run up these stairs. There's going to be 1 or 2 grunts at the top here, so you can just melee them real quick. And then we're going to focus on running over here. There's going to be a bunch of enemies on the right side, so we're going to go to the right, throw some grenades. I didn't throw the best grenades here, but you could get much better multi-kills if your grenades are more well-placed than mine were just there. But we're going to get the job done anyway, and we're going to lay into these guys. Use your pistol to take out the grunts if you need to. And there are going to be a bunch of grenades that they drop. So you could fill up your grenades pretty quickly once you throw the grenades that you initially have, because there's the catch skull on, so they drop more grenades on top of throwing more grenades. So you could really just kind of spam grenades at that point and pick them up as you go, as you kill people, and kind of keep the kill train going there. So we're going to go through these guys as quickly as we can, because par time is a factor in the par score actually. So we're going to try to get under par time, which is 20 minutes for this mission. So always go up there, because there's usually a couple brutes left over, and they're kind of shooting down at you from the side. We grab some more pistol ammo, some more needle ammo from that crate, activate the switch, and we're going to run down here. There's going to be more pistol ammo that we're going to grab, so we're going to look for that. It's going to be by a dead Marine, kind of in the middle here, down low right here. You can see the dead Marine. He's got that pistol. Grab that. He's also got a couple grenades on the ground there too. So now we have full grenades. And we have a decent amount of pistol and some needle rifle, or not needle rifle, just a regular old needler. We're going to run over here, and you could actually take out the gunner in this Phantom that's landing. And I should have done that. I don't know why I didn't do it. I kind of blanked out right here. So you can see I moved forward and then was startled by the gunner there. But I wanted to throw a couple grenades down at the ground as these guys jumped off the Phantom, because then that way it takes out the majority of them, and then I could clean up any that remain. That group of enemies will be a total of 6, so we know we killed them all because we got a Killtrocity, which is a multi-kill of 6. There are 3 brutes and 3 skirmishers, and then we're going to jump up here and grab the sniper and try to snipe all these guys, or as many as we can. We probably won't be able to get them all, and take out the brutes and the grunts that are up there. And once we run out of ammo here, we're just going to switch back to our pistol, and we'll run over there and deal with them up close and personal. So we're heading back in here. We're doing pretty well on our ammo. There's more pistol ammo in various places throughout this room, but there's also a DMR in 2 places. There's one right up here, leaning up against this planting bed type thing, and then there's some directly below me. If you jump down, there's a box or crate with some DMR in there as well, but I don't need that much more ammo, and it's a little out of the way, so I'm trying to save some time. There's not really any enemies left except for this hammer-wielding brute right here. So the ham boy is down. We're going to kind of just move ahead because there's actually more DMR. We're going to grab a plasma pistol, though, so make sure you do that, and grab any other weapon. It doesn't matter. So just make sure you have a plasma pistol and something else. And we're going to go to the next section. I'm going to skip ahead because this elevator ride takes a while. So here we are exiting the elevator. We're going to run forward. There's going to be a Marine that's fighting some Banshees with a rocket launcher. That's the guy we want to exchange weapons with. So we have a rocket launcher and a plasma pistol. So do that, and we're going to run over here and grab a jetpack for ourselves and become a part of the Bullfrogs. And we will actually stay here for a little bit and fight some Banshees ourselves. But not with the rockets. We're actually going to use the plasma pistol, which we took from the previous section. So jetpack up to here, and then the Banshees kind of circle this area, and they don't really shoot at you too much. So just kind of wait for them to fly at you here, and they always just fly straight at you. They're kind of scripted to take this path, and you could noob combo one of them, overcharged plasma pistol one of them. I guess it's not a noob combo because you're not shooting them with a headshot. And you can see they just fall down to the ground, and once they hit that kill zone, they blow up, and you get a bunch of points. So we're going to wait for another wave. They come from over there. You can see 3 are bursting through the scene now. Busting onto the scene, whatever the phrase is. But we're going to do the same thing, overcharge plasma pistol these guys. It will get them to be stunned and fall out of the air, and hopefully fall down and into the kill zone. Unfortunately, that only happened for the first Banshee that I did that with. The other 2 must have hit something on the way down, which slowed their descent until they were able to regain control and fly out of there. But most of the time that I've done that, I was able to get at least 2 of the 3 to blow up. But anyway, we're going to go over here again, and we're going to grab the DMR out of the crate, so we should have a full DMR and a set of rockets as well. So we're going to now move on to the next section. So just jetpack across like you would normally. We're going to skip the section ahead here. So we're going to take the route where we would normally take it on higher difficulties to just bypass everybody. So we're just going to follow this path. If you don't know what it is, we're going to go down here, and then we're going to walk along it for a little bit, and then we're going to jetpack over to the ledge over here, and we're just going to hug the wall so we don't fall off. But we're actually going to jump off at this point, and then we're going to kind of jetpack back to the ledge over here, so we can get around that corner. And then we're going to keep walking, just keep hugging the right side so we don't fall off. And then we're going to jetpack to the left in a little bit to a support structure. There's kind of a nice little area you could jetpack to, and it's right here. So jetpack over to this section, and then we're going to jetpack back to the ledge, but a little further ahead. Then we're going to jetpack up to this little area here, onto this support structure. And then we're going to wait for our jetpack to fully recharge so we could jetpack up to here. You could throw a grenade at these guys for some extra points. They usually do not kill you if you leave them alive. They don't have enough time to get you enough damage to kill you or anything. But obviously we're going for points, so we killed them with a plasma nade. And we're going to jetpack up to here. And instead of skipping this whole section, normally on higher difficulties I would skip most of the enemies down below here and then just fight the enemies that are up top for the mission to progress. But we're going to grab DMR ammo there and also some rockets. And also there's a health pack next to that crate. We're going to take out these 3 grunts, and then we're going to go down here and fight our way up, like I mentioned we were going to do, instead of just skipping to the end of this section. So we're going to fight these jackals. We want the points they have, so they actually don't know I'm here, so I'm going to sneak up behind them, and we'll just melee these guys real quick. They may see that you're here. If so, just shoot them with your DMR. There's going to be a series of brutes and a bunch of enemies up here, so take these guys out slowly and surely. Whatever your skill level is, however fast you're able to take them out, the faster the better, obviously. And you're going to see me be pretty aggressive here. I'm going to push forward and not really be concerned too much with getting my shield back or anything. So I'm just pushing forward because I'm comfortable doing so. If you're not and you need to take a little more time, be more conservative, and place your shots more thoughtfully, then just do so, because it's better to just get through this section without dying really so much, more so than it is to get through super quick. Obviously, dying would overall make you go through this section slower if you had to do it a bunch of times, and it would add up to more time on your clock. And again, the timer is a factor in the par score overall, because if you get under par time, you get a multiplier of 3, and if you get over that, it starts diminishing. So you'll see your score start going down once we get over 20 minutes, which is the par time for this mission. So just head up here, We're just running and gunning, not too much strategy. We want to grab the plasmodiades when we can from all the grunts and brutes we're killing, so we could throw them and stick some people, as we just did there. Just have it as an option. You don't necessarily have to do it for that guy. But we're going to go over here. There's health. There's a DMR. There's going to be some grunts down at the end of this section, and we want to kill the ones with the fuel rods as a priority. But this whole time I've been running and gunning, I've basically just been using the DMR to headshot the grunts, jackals, and skirmishers because they're easy to take out with headshots very quickly. And for the brutes, I've been using a combination of plasma grenades to stick them, and also you could headshot those guys as well, but it takes a few more because you have to pop off their helmet first, and then you can finish them off with a headshot. So you can see here we're just laying into these guys with headshots, and then we want to focus on the brutes. You could feel free to use some of your rockets that we've collected, which I'm going to start using right here. You could use them a little earlier if you would like, but obviously just kind of pace where you use them because you only have a certain amount, obviously. And we want to make sure that we have one remaining once we're past this section because we want to bring it to the beach and use it there. If you find that you accidentally used all the rockets, you could always pick up a fuel rod from... I totally wasted that rocket, speaking of wasting rockets. We want to take some heavy weapon to the beach with us. So we got a ham boy here, and we're going to pop his helmet off, like I mentioned. And you have a jetpack, so remember, you could use that to dodge things. You don't have to just move back and forth or, forward or backward. You could just go straight up if you find yourself toe-to-toe with a ham boy. And then finally, we have the 2 plasma turrets being wielded by grunts over here, which is easy enough to take out. They kind of have their heads poking out over the top of the thing, so just one headshot will kill them, and then they will blow up. And we're going to skip ahead here because it takes like a minute for the Pelican to come in and evac everybody. So it takes a while to get going with these Falcons. But we're going to come over the building here and take out these 2 brutes here. And then we want to prioritize the brute chieftain down here with a hammer because he's a lot of points. You can see I'm focusing on the grunts, and I probably should be focusing on this brute here. He almost survives because he hides behind that pillar. So focus on that guy. And then you want to take out that brute as well that we missed. He had a plasma repeater, but we missed him, but that's all right. We're going to take out this brute, also a chieftain. So take this guy out. He's got some shielding. And then take out the grunts if you'd like. There's also supposed to be a brute over here, but the Marines took him out, it looks like. Unfortunate for us. And then we'll focus on the Banshees, which are flying around this area. So they start off on the right, but I took my time with those infantry, so now they're on the left. They kind of swoop down from the left and across. But you can see I'm leading the targets pretty considerably at this point. You need to do so for your bullets to connect. Otherwise, you will not hit anything unless they're flying directly at you, and then obviously you don't need to lead the target. But we're going to shoot down at these Wraiths now at this point. Tilt Skull is on, which helps us for the most part with the better multiplier, but it makes vehicles more resilient, so you will not find that you're able to kill the vehicles as quickly. So normally on normal difficulty, you'd be able to take out both Wraiths, and it wouldn't be too hard, but we barely got one right there because of the Tilt Skull. So it didn't really help us there, but it helps us with the better multiplier in general, and it doesn't really have an effect on too much stuff outside of these Wraiths. It becomes a factor when you deal with shielded enemies such as the Elites. So if there were a ton of Elites in this mission, I might not recommend putting on the Tilt Skull, but since we're dealing with Brutes primarily as the main bad guy in this mission, I throw it on because most Brutes don't have on any energy shielding, so it doesn't become that much of a factor, and it's more beneficial for us to get the increased multiplier from having the Tilt Skull on. So that's why I threw that on for this mission in particular. All other par scores I've done up until now have only had on Catch, Famine, Fog, Thunderstorm, and Tough Luck, but for this one, like I mentioned in the beginning, I threw on Tilt as well. But we're approaching the end of the Falcon ride here. You want to tear into these enemies in front of you here first, and then you want to turn to the left, and sometimes a Banshee will fly from the left to the right into your field of view and your range with the gun, so you could take one more Banshee out before you are dropped off. It's scripted. You kind of hang here for a certain amount of time, and then you get let off. So kill the infantry first while you're hanging out here, and then look to the left, and you'll hopefully be able to take out a Banshee like I did there. And then you'll be dropped off. Grab a health pack if you need it from that dead Marine on the ground to the left. Grab a DMR as well. There's some more in the crate on the right, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to use this Warthog up ahead here to get some kills. So we're going to load up the Warthog with a couple Marine buddies, and we're going to give the passenger guy some rockets to deal with so he could give us some points. Actually, all the enemies that are killed by Marines or friendlies in your Warthog, those points go to you for whatever reason. But it's pretty great. The rockets are infinite, so even if you only have one rocket in your rocket launcher, when you give it to him, he'll just fire until, the game ends. He just has infinite rockets somehow. So we'll just give them to him, and he could make better use out of them than we can, and we'll get all the points that he collects. So it's basically a win-win for us. But we're going to kill this first ghost as a priority, and then we're going to drive over here. There's going to be some grunts hanging around. and there's going to be some down to the left as well. So being up here is a good vantage point to kill them, and then we'll kind of keep going over here. There's going to be a second ghost that we're going to hopefully kill. Sometimes you kill the driver before you actually kill the ghost, so you only get points for killing the driver like that, which is unfortunate. And then sometimes your marine buddy shoots you with a laser. So we'll hop out and take this from him because clearly he can't use it. I look like a grunt and a ghost instead of a Spartan and a warthog apparently. But we'll grab that from him so we could kill a wraith ourselves here. So over in this direction, we're going to find one of the wraiths just hanging out. I'm going to get out and kill him myself with the laser. And the reason I'm not letting my gunners do the job is because with the combination of skulls and difficulty that we have right now, they will actually kill the driver before the wraith explodes, and that will not get us many points at all. So we'll just get a few points for killing the driver, and we won't get any points for the wraith exploding. You can see I got over 700 points back then for the wraith blowing up, so that's what we're looking for. So we get a lot more points that way. And you can see that could happen with the ghost as well. It could happen with any vehicle. If the driver dies and the vehicle is still intact, you get way less points. And unfortunately, I don't have enough laser to take out the second wraith, so I'm just going to let my gunners kind of take them out. And as an example, kind of show you what happens if you just let the gunners do the work. They'll just kill the driver, and that's it. So that's what's going to happen over here. You can see we have the wraith still intact, and the driver is dead. So we didn't get any points really at all. We just got the meager amount of points for the driver, 74 points. Wow, what a prize. And you could actually get in that wraith yourself and use it if you want, but we're just going to drive around. There's not really much left to this mission. So we've killed most of the enemies already in this section, so it wouldn't really be worth it. And we want to have a fast vehicle to go from the switches to the final switch, these two switches to the final third switch at the end, so we could quickly finish the mission. So we're going to position ourselves so we could actually drive over to the second switch as soon as we activate this first switch. So I'm going to run in here, and hopefully all the enemies are dead. And if not, I have an empty laser I could kill them with. I could just bash them over the head, I guess. Activate that switch. There's some rockets right here you could change out. Only one, though. We got Famine on, remember, so there's not that much ammo happening here. And we'll try to kill that brute, but he's evasive, that brute. So we're just going to ignore him, and we're going to try to go for some time here. We're ignoring all the enemies that are, you know, not right in front of us at this point, because we're about to finish this mission right here. We don't got time for them, and we're way over the par score at this point anyway, which is 30,000. We're at 55,000 here, so we're just kind of running through, finishing as quickly as we can. Activate that switch. That is number 2 of 2, and then the final switch we'll activate. Pick that guy real quick for some extra points, and then we'll drive straight over. Once we activate that second of 2 switches, third switch will activate, like I mentioned, and we have to drive over here and activate it real quick. You could actually activate it without killing any of the enemies over here, but I'm actually going to go up to the top here, kind of a level above that switch, and you could lay into these guys. This is a good position to be in because you could kind of kill a bunch of people as they come around the corner here. And I almost died from that chieftain, but all the enemies tend to accumulate there because they're all like, where is he? And they come up these stairs, and you could throw a bunch of grenades at your own teammates. That lost me some points. Most of the time, your friendlies do not make it up to this section that quickly, so I did not expect them to be right around the corner as I threw a grenade. But again, you don't need to do this at all. If you have enough points, just finish the mission. But if you need to get extra points before you finish, this is a good way to do it. Just kind of land above the switch, the level above the switch, and kind of take those enemies out. They kind of get funneled into that stairway there, so you could throw some nades and get a good amount of damage on all those guys. But go to the switch once you are satisfied and activate the cutscene. It will end the mission, and we have finished in just under par time there and came in at more than double the par score at over 61,000. But remember, killing all those people at the end is optional. If you're over par time already, if you're over 20 minutes, you want to hit that switch as soon as possible, because at that point you're just losing points because your time multiplier is going down. But that's it for this one. I'll see you next time when we tackle the par score on New Alexandria. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, be sure to click on the scorpion icon to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You can also check out some related guides by clicking on the videos on screen, and you can find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Halo guides, and I'll see you in the next one.